Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Variety OC star reveals genuine reaction to Tamra Judge's brief exit. The Real Housewives of Orange County is currently in its 19th season. As fans of the show know, Tamra Judge announced during filming that she would be leaving the series. However, she later returned to the show. Now fellow RHOC star Gant Kirschenheiter is opening up about the brief departure. Kirschenheiter spoke to US Weekly in August 2025. During the conversation, she discussed the new season of RHOC and shared her reaction to Judge's departure from the show. She said, "I was kind of surprised that she just released it out to the world like that because it seemed very definitive, which I didn't think she would do." She continued, "But also, Tamra really was having a rough year. I've never seen her like this before. I just kept saying, Tamra's being weird, Tamra's being weird." Kirschenheiter continued and provided some context for why she thinks Judge may have decided to leave RHOC. She explained, "Obviously, with Teddy, that's heartbreaking." For context, former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Teddy Mellencamp is currently battling cancer. The two are very close friends. Kirschenheiter added, "And that's the closest person to her. I think it was very difficult for her to navigate through that. And then she really did for the first time start going to real therapy." Kirschenheiter went on to say she feels Judge's therapy is making a difference, despite some of their co-stars believing differently. According to her, "I think people don't understand. It's not like you go to a therapist. You sit on the couch, and then you're fixed. They crack the door open, and it gets way worse for a while because you're just now looking at things you don't want to look at." She added, "You don't want to admit it. I think it's a little bit unfair." According to US Weekly, Judge took to social media on March 9 to announce that she would cease filming The Real Housewives of Orange County with Kirschenheiter and the rest of the cast. She did this after a massive argument with some of the ladies on the show. She wrote, "It was a long run. When life gives you real problems, this reality stuff doesn't make sense. Peace out. I'm out." Judge later replied to a comment of someone asking if she was serious and said she was. Notably, her exit involved her leaving the cast trip to New Orleans early. As mentioned, she later returned to filming. For The Real Housewives of Orange County, change is nothing new. Over the years, the Bravo hit has seen its fair share of cast shakeups, feuds, reconciliations, and champagne-fueled drama. But when Tamra Judge, arguably one of the most polarizing and beloved figures in RHOC history, stepped away for a brief period, it wasn't just fans who felt the impact. One of her fellow castmates has now opened up, offering a raw and candid look at her real reaction to Tamra's departure, and it's as heartfelt as it is revealing. The star, who has shared both champagne toasts and screaming matches with Tamra, didn't hold back when recalling that moment. "It was like losing the chaos and the glue at the same time," she confessed, her voice dipping into an emotional register that fans rarely see on screen. She admitted that when she first heard the news, she thought it was just another rumor. REOC has always had a churn of gossip swirling around it. One day, someone's definitely leaving, and the next, they're filming a shopping trip at South Coast Plaza. But when production confirmed Tamra wouldn't be returning for the upcoming season, the reality sank in. Shockwaves in the OC. The OC ladies thrive on dynamics, alliances, rivalries, and the unpredictable energy each cast member brings. For this star, Tamra's absence was more than just losing a scene partner. It was losing a confidant and, yes, sometimes a sparring partner. She likened Tamra to a spark plug, igniting storylines and pushing others to speak their truth, even when it was uncomfortable. Without her, the energy shifted. There was this weird quiet in the group, like the room was missing a beat, she said. That there was another layer, worry. Reality TV may thrive on drama, but off camera, these women have real friendships, shared histories, and unspoken understandings. She admitted she worried about Tamra's mental and emotional well-being during that time, knowing the adjustment from full-time filming to watching from the sidelines could be tough. The honest truth about Tamra. The RHOC star also peeled back the curtain on her personal feelings about Tamra. Not the TV persona, but the woman she's known for years. Tamra's tough, but she's also got one of the biggest hearts. People see the fire, the sass, the clapbacks, but she's also the friend who checks in at midnight when she knows you're going through something, she explained. When Tamra Judge first announced her brief departure from the Real Housewives of Orange County, it was as if someone had pulled the orange right out of the logo. Fans gasped, social media buzzed, and behind the scenes, her fellow castmates were left to process the news in their own ways. One RHOC star, however, is now opening up about the real emotions she felt in that moment, raw, unfiltered, and straight from the heart. I didn't even know what to say, the housewife admits, leaning back in her chair during a recent sit-down interview. Tamra isn't just another castmate. She's part of the DNA of this show. Her leaving, even for a little while, felt like the whole vibe shifted overnight. The day the news broke, she remembers exactly where she was when she found out. It wasn't during filming, not in the middle of a champagne toast or a tense dinner party confrontation. No, she was at home, wearing mismatched pajamas, scrolling through Instagram when Tamra's post popped up. She'd written something about taking a break, and I was like, wait, what? A break from us? From me? It didn't compute, she says with a laugh that hides a deeper melancholy. I honestly thought it was some kind of publicity stunt at first. But as the minutes turned into hours and calls began flying among the cast, it became clear that Tamra really was stepping away, at least temporarily. I was shocked. Then I was sad. Then I was a little mad, because I thought, how am I supposed to stir the pot without my partner in crime? Life without Tamra. The next season's filming began without Tamra, and the difference was palpable. Tamra has this way of cutting right to the truth, whether you're ready for it or not, she explains. Without her there, some of the drama felt different, lighter in some ways, but also missing that punch. She admits that she found herself instinctively glancing toward the spot Tamra would usually occupy during group scenes. You know, when you've been working with someone so long that you can practically read each other's minds. We had that. And suddenly, it was gone. I'd look across the table, expecting her to give me the look, and it just wasn't there. Still, the show must go on. And in Tamra's absence, other personalities stepped up, shifting dynamics and forcing everyone to adapt. We had to find a new rhythm, but I'm not going to lie. Everybody talked about her. It was like she was still there in spirit. Her name came up a lot. Behind-the-scenes support. Even though Tamra wasn't filming, the two kept in touch privately. We texted. We FaceTimed. I'd send her little updates about what was going on and who was fighting with who. She'd roll her eyes and say, "See, you guys can't survive without me," and she wasn't wrong. She reveals that Tamra used the break to focus on family and personal projects, but also kept a watchful eye on RHOC. She was still watching. She'd send me these long messages after an episode aired, breaking down everyone's moves like a sports coach analyzing game footage. The emotional return. When whispers of Tamra's return started circulating, the RHOC star admits she was skeptical. I'd heard rumors before, and I didn't want to get my hopes up. But when I finally got confirmation that she was coming back, I legit teared up. The day Tamra walked back onto set was, in her words, like a reunion with an old best friend you didn't realize you missed so much until they're standing right in front of you. She remembers the hug they shared, longer than usual, filled with unspoken gratitude. We picked up right where we left off. The banter, the side-eye, the occasional troublemaking, it was all there. Reflecting on the break. Looking back now, she sees Tamra's exit as both a loss and a gift. Sometimes you need to step away to appreciate what you bring to the table. I think Tamra came back stronger, and we all realized just how essential she is to the show's heartbeat. She also notes that the break gave the rest of the cast a chance to stand on their own. Without Tamra, some people found their voices. It shook up the dynamics in ways that ended up being good for the storytelling. But having her back, that's the magic. What it means for the future. With Tamra firmly back in the mix, she predicts more fireworks ahead. We've both grown a lot. But trust me, just because we've evolved doesn't mean we've lost our edge. If anything, we're sharper now. She laughs, knowing fans are already speculating about what the next season will bring. I can't give too much away, but let's just say, Tamra and I are about to make up for lost time. Before wrapping the conversation, the RHOC star turns directly to the fans who weathered the ups and downs of Tamra's departure. Thank you for sticking with us. I know it wasn't the same without her. Trust me, we felt that too. But your support means everything, and I think you're going to be very, very happy with what's coming.